recover from that.
X39 has really changed my life. I'm not stuck at home in pain and in bed. I'm out here with my friends and enjoying my family.
Big thank you to Lifeway for helping me, helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using Lifeway daily and their families. Big thank you. Love the products.
And I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday evening introduction to LifeWave and the star of the show, X39. I'm your co-host, Robin, along with Gregory. And what we do this evening is Gregory's going to do a short presentation, followed by an introduction to our special guest tonight, Dr. Jeffrey Hubbard. And then it's your turn. So if you have questions or stories to share, please put them in the Q&A. And thank you for doing symptoms only. So we're going to get the ball rolling with Gregory doing his presentation. Over to you, honey.
All right. Thanks, Robin. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
This is a fun time for us to be able to share LifeWave and this breakthrough in STEM technology with everyone. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, so hold on just a minute. My cat's excited about it too. So home-based business. Hold on just a second. There we go. Okay, here we share. So we're going to talk about activating your stem cells. And before we do, I wanted to share with you kind of a realization I came to a number of years ago. I finally figured out what I want to be when I get older, younger. And I bet you many of you can relate to that. There's nothing so cool about getting older, but I've also found that age is a feeling, not a number. So let me ask you, if anything were possible, what is one thing you choose to experience differently in your health and maybe in the health of someone you love and care for? And if that could change, what difference would that make for you or them? Something to ponder. Wonderful things can happen. I do want to just make a general disclaimer. Our products are not designed or intended to heal, treat, diagnose any disease. However, they do help our bodies to get back into a more regenerative mode. And when that happens, wonderful things can begin to happen. So let's talk about the stem cell revolution, because we believe everyone wants to look, feel, perform, and live younger. And we found that stem cells are the key because they're a vital part of our immune system that helps to repair and regenerate damaged cells in every area of our body. Our bones, our muscles, our glands, our organs, our eyes, everywhere. Well, The problem is the older we get, the less stem cells we have. And sadly, by age 60, only a small percentage remains. And the fewer we have, the faster we age and the slower we heal. And neither of those sound very cool to me. And that's why, a young lad falls down, skins his knee, and 3 days later, his scab falls off. Where grandma falls down, skins her knee, and might break her hip, and she's lucky to ever get out of the hospital. So let's talk about stem cell injections, because that's an option, but it's very expensive, painful, risky, controversial, and no guaranteed results. You could spend tens of thousands of dollars on stem cell injections and may or may not get the results you're after. Well, tonight we're here to tell you about some really good news, because you can look, feel, perform, and live younger with a historic breakthrough in stem cell activation. It's a new wearable technology in patch form. It's affordable, it's safe, it's non-invasive, it's drug-free, and it's a patented form of phototherapy that uses specific frequencies of light to increase and improve our stem cell activity. So this is the brainchild of our visionary founder and CEO, David Schmidt, who's not only a brilliant scientist and researcher, but David is really a genius inventor with over 130 patents and patent pendings. And he's been on the leading edge of phototherapy research and science for over 20 years. Now, David's already conducted over 80 clinical studies proving the efficacy of LifeWave phototherapy products, and many more studies are always in the works, because LifeWave is a very science-based company. It's actually an 18-year-old advanced technology company focused in the field of health sciences, founded back in 2004 based on an energy-enhancing technology that David made for the Navy SEALs to increase their strength, stamina, performance without the use of drugs, stimulants, or caffeine. It turned out to be so effective, it's now used by world-class athletes around the world in almost every sport. We have our corporate headquarters and laboratory and manufacturing in California, Utah, and Ireland. And I'm excited to tell you that we have global distribution to over 75 countries from 15 global distribution centers. Now, the word is getting out, and LifeWave patches are now used by pro and amateur athletes around the world, as I mentioned. And the media has begun to notice, and you know what? You might too, if you look carefully on some of your favorite athletes and you see these auspicious little white patches on their body, athletes and Olympians, and that's LifeWave. So how does this amazing technology work? Well, it's based on a type of light therapy called photobiomodulation. That's kind of a mouthful, but very simply put, LifeWave patches contain very specific combinations of organic materials and nanocrystals. And when they are applied or within 3 inches of our body, they're activated by our body heat and begin to re-emit very specific wavelengths of light, which stimulate targeted and beneficial biochemical responses in our body. So this is known as photobiomodulation, and it is the basis of our LifeWave phototherapy products. Now, it's been a well-recognized and proven scientific principle that specific frequencies of light can cause specific changes within the body. For example, we all know when we go out in the sun, a specific frequency of light causes our body to make vitamin D. We don't get a vitamin D download from the sun. We get a light frequency download, and our body reacts to that frequency and manufactures vitamin D. And likewise, another frequency of sunlight causes our body to make melanin, the chemical that gives us a suntan. Well, I'm happy to tell you that LifeWave's patent technology is based on the same rock-solid, widely accepted scientific principle. Our focus for the last 14 years has been in the field of anti-aging and regenerative science. And in 2019, we released to the global market the LifeWave X39 stem cell activation patch, which is a total game changer. This is a historic and affordable breakthrough in stem cell activation. Some are calling it the holy grail of anti-aging and restorative science. And we're actually doing what the multi-billion-dollar companies and big pharma have not been able to do. And that is X39 actually activates a very specific, copper peptide that activates our body's own stem cells, at the same time altering gene expression towards a younger and more vibrant you. And that's all sounds pretty cool to me, and I hope it does to you too. So X39 certainly is a game changer. It's a true breakthrough. And David Schmidt, our founder, says this is my greatest achievement yet, with a focus on the yet, because he spends more time in the laboratory than in his office. So yes, we have patents. Yes, we have clinical studies. Yes, we have field results proving that X39 is actually turning back our biological clock, helping people to look, feel, perform, and live younger. And for us baby boomers, yep, this is very, very exciting news. So Robin, that is my little, sharing for this evening. I'll turn it back over to you and our special guest doctor tonight.
Thank you, Gregory. As always, a wonderful job. And I hope those of you that are new this evening, oops, I'm a little crooked here. We're taking notes, and I forgot to tell you to have your notepad ready. Wonderful information. Yes, and he's a wonderful member of our community. We're so blessed to have so many really, really wonderful healthcare practitioners. Dr. Jeffrey Hubbard is from Dallas. He is an MD. He has a master in physiology, I believe. And he's, aside from being a medical doctor and researcher, he's also an entrepreneur and an educator. His focus is really helping people understand preventative health care and educate people. And he's especially has a warm spot in his heart for the underserved community. He has a program right before this one called AskDrJeff.org, and you can tune into that. And he does Q&A and is an amazing educator. He also does private consults for people, and people have had amazing results with them. And I'm just thrilled to introduce Dr. Jeff. Are you with us?
I don't think we promoted him out yet, so I'm looking for him.
You're looking for him. Okay, let's see where he is. He has his call right before.
Oh, there he is. He's right at the top. Hold on, Jeff.
Okay.
Be right with you.
Okay.
There you go.
There
Thanks
you
for
go.
raising your hand.
We're waiting for you. He's coming
He's
on
rejoining
now.
as a panelist. There he
Okay.
comes.
All right. Well, there he is. He's coming now.
Hey,
Hey. Hi. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I'm quite good. Thank you very much. Glad to have you as always. It's always a treat to be with you.
Absolutely. Same here.
Because you're leaving soon for the Philippines, I think.
Yes, March 1, we're out of here.
Okay, a month. How
Yeah.
exciting. Dr. Jeff is building over in the Philippines and going to clinics and educating people, and has relatives there, so exciting things. So let's jump in, Dr. Jeff. Before we jump in, any cool new stories that you haven't shared yet that you want to share?
Let's see. Well, we were talking about the Philippines, and you probably have heard this one, but it's still probably one of the most exciting and moving things that I was ever a part of. We were in Iloilo City, and this is a different part of the country, and then Manila. So we were on a different island, and we had the opportunity to do a laugh patching demonstration. So there's a lady who comes up, and she takes her shoe off, and she has a very large ulcer on her foot. And I was very, concerned about this ulcer. It was really profound. And so, I say, what do we do? So we put some ice wave on it. We put a couple of X39, and within a matter of minutes, she starts crying and says in Tagalog that this is the first time that she's been out of pain in 7 years.
Whoa.
So
amazing.
The spirit was really moving. I was getting emotional. It was a really powerful event. And so I love that story.
It's an amazing story. And the thing is, it's a common story. And we're so blessed that we get to share something that gives people hope that their future can be really different. And it's such a gift. Okay, let's jump in and talk about X39, the star of the show. So who's this patch for and who isn't it for?
I'm biased. I feel like everybody should be wearing it. So, I don't think that there's anybody who's off limits. And we'll kind of get, I think, later in the discussion to maybe some caveats about those who maybe shouldn't wear it at certain time periods or with certain treatments. But in general, it provides so many different benefits that I think everybody could benefit from wearing it or know somebody who could benefit from wearing it.
Isn't it wonderful to have something that is safe, natural, affordable, and for everybody, just about everybody? Just a few, well, why don't you share right now, who are the people that really are best not to use X39 and maybe a few of the other patches?
Okay, so because of the nature of X39 and X49 generating copper peptide molecules that influence gene expression, we tend to have people who are actively in chemo treatment stay away from them, or people who are dealing with tumor growth stay away from them.
That's it. Everybody else, it's for everybody else. Okay. So how do you use this technology? What is it? Well, I guess I can show people what it looks like, huh? Because we haven't done that. It looks like this.
Yeah,
It
so about
looks like a round Band-Aid about the size of a quarter, and it does amazing things. So how do you use it, and how do you get the best benefits to make it most effective?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the recommended approach is to wear 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and you put it in acupuncture locations around the body, primarily governing vessel 14, which is where Robin had her patch. That's located on top of the 7th cervical vertebrae. Or you can wear below your navel, which is about a 4-finger width below your navel. And that meridian on the front is called conception vessel, and that's conception vessel 4, wearing it below the navel. And so the reason that LifeWave has chosen those two particular places as sort of the hallmark locations is because our acupuncture meridians, they cross over the body at certain junctures. And so those two locations are like train junctions, like central station. So you get a really great energetic influence on top of the molecules that the patches help you generate. You get sort of an energy boost in your chi, or your life force energy that's flowing through your system.
Beautiful. So you want to wear it for how long, and what else do we need to do to get the best benefits?
12 hours on, 12 hours off. So if you think about it, you're having light therapy. So it's very similar, 12 hours of sun, 12 hours of darkness. So you kind of think about it like that. So you need to give your body a chance to rest. So you're working the photobiomodulation therapy during the day or during the night, whatever 12-hour period you decide to use, but you need to give your body ample rest, and you need to drink appropriate amounts of water. Usually we say 2/3 of your body weight in ounces. And then you need to have proper mineralization: magnesium, zinc, and copper, or the 3 main minerals that you want to add to make sure your body's taking full advantage of the therapy.
Beautiful. Okay, now I know people want to know, well, how long will it be before I notice something?
That's a loaded question.
I know you can handle it.
So it's really a case-by-case basis, guys. So there's probably 75 to 80% of the population that within the first couple of days to a week, they're going to see something. They're going to have an improved sleep. They're going to have increased energy level. Their cognitive function is going to go up, or their pain is going to go down. Something is going to be significant that's going to let you know, nothing else that I'm doing did anything. So it has to be the patch. There's another group, that maybe is not as respondent to the patch, or maybe has a lot going on. Guys, you got to take into consideration, you've had years and years and decades of different things happening to your body. And if you've got a lot of things going on, it may take a little while longer for things to begin to improve. So sometimes it takes a month, 2 months, 3 months. I tell everyone, if you're not prepared to give this the 90 to 120 days, just don't do it yet. Wait until you can commit to that 3 to 4 month time period, so you can really give the patch the opportunity to really do what it can do.
Beautiful. So whatever's going on in your body didn't happen overnight. And it's wonderful to notice something right away. And actually, most people notice something. And we invite you to get a health tracker. And from the person who invited you, make sure they send you a health tracker and get a baseline before you start. And because you're going to notice some other things on that health tracker that you wouldn't think that it would affect, like your eyes and your hair and your nails and your skin and mental and all kinds of things. So it's really good to track your results and give it some time. We know it's working right away, but you may not notice because stem cells are very smart. They just know where the work is, right?
Exactly. And I've come to the realization that there's just a priority list that your body has. And it's not the same priority list that you might want to have happen. And so it's going to start marking things off the list and start improving things. And you may be like, I want this knee to get better, but you know, all of these other things start happening before the knee is addressed. But trust me, it's working underneath the surface to do amazing things for you.
And unexpected things. And it is cumulative too, isn't it?
It is. That's the cool part, is that it just keeps building and building and building. And that's the beauty of the patch, and why I'm always encouraging people to consider this as a lifestyle. A lot of people come to me and they're like, well, Jeff, how do how long do I have to wear to do this? Or how long do I have to wear to do that? And I'm like, that's not the right way to think about it. You're bringing your body into homeostasis. You're bringing your body back into balance. And then it starts to perform at a different level. And that's where the magic happens. And if you just think about it in timetables, or you think about it like allopathy, where you're taking a medicine to do something, that's just not the right way to think about it.
It's a whole different system. It's the body doing the work, and we're just providing a few frequencies to help it do what it's designed to do, right?
Go.
Yeah. And now, is there any kind of contraindication or negative side effects or anything that, we should let people know about?
So that's a great question, and a good thing that we should discuss, because on occasion, people are just inundated with toxins, from diet, from stress, from environmental factors, the water, the air, all of these different things that we're bombarded with, that sometimes when your body goes through this cleansing mechanism or this balancing mechanism with the patch, you can have some effects. You can have some aches and pains. You can have maybe a headache or some flu-like symptoms, maybe an upset stomach or a change in bowel habits or something like that. And we kind of blanket term this as a healing crisis, okay? So this is not a bad thing. This is actually a really good thing. It means that your body's responding to the photobiomodulation therapy. And if it's really unbearable, you just take the patch off. And usually during the second or third application of the patch, it's completely resolved and you're on your way to a better state of health. Sometimes you need to drink a lot of water and help flush some of those toxins out and things that are going on. But guys, don't let that discourage you.
Sometimes you have to feel a little thing and know that it's really working. That happened to me. It's like, oh, my arm hurt again from a past injury. And Dr. says, oh, good. And I went, it doesn't feel good, but it was good. And then all of a sudden it was all better. And, the beauty is you can take the patch off if it's too much, but right. That's so wonderful. Honey, I don't know if the recording is on. Gregory, are you there? I don't think he's recording, so I think I'm going to.
Oops.
Okay.
Start now.
All right. Well, what we talk about every week. There we go. Now we're going to get to our guests. Is there anything else you want to share before we open up for questions? We have a lot of questions. We're probably not going to get to all of them, everybody, but good idea to get yours in right away. Anything else you want to share, Dr. Jeff?
Guys, just dive in feet first, okay? If this is your first time hearing about the technology or maybe you're a newbie and you're just kind of getting adjusted and acclimated to all of the different lingo and vocabulary that we're using, just feel free. I mean, it's really a simple process. Just peel and stick and watch the magic happen.
Okay. It does seem like magic. And on our Monday morning calls, we call it the Monday morning miracle call. And then Karen O'Neill says, and it's science. It seems like a miracle, but it is science, and it's a really exciting science, like Gregory talked about, called photobiomodulation. Well, let's jump in and get started, because we're going to get as far as we can get in the next short while here. We're going to start out with the Watercolor Society of Oregon. Can you use two of the same patches at the same time? And can I use one patch on 2 days, 8 to 12 hours on, and same off?
Yes, to all of that. I used to say that more than 3 patches was overkill. And then I started speaking to more LifeWave family members and found that people are going to the extreme, 4, 5, 6 patches. Now, maybe that might not be okay for your pocketbook, but your body likes it. And so as long as you're following the dosing regimen, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, then you're in good shape. And yes, you can extend the patch. There is a lot of life, a lot of efficacy in the patch. You can get away with putting it on for a second 12 hours before you throw it away.
Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, and I know David likes people to put a fresh patch on for safety purposes, in case there's any kind of bacteria or something on the skin. It's a safety precaution. It does have a little more juice in it. Okay, Sunshower Rose would like to know, is there a patch that will positively affect a chronic autoimmune disorder that shows up in the fingers and toes and that have become disfigured?
Yes. So I love the combination of glutathione and eon for pretty much any autoimmune issue. If it's painful, which in this instance, it probably is painful, you can add in Ice Wave, and that usually does the trick. Those 3 are really great. And obviously you're always going to wear X39. So that one's going to work behind the surface to begin to change things long-term, but to acutely impact those things, glutathione, eon, and Ice Wave.
It's a great combination. Hard to go wrong. And we always, X39. It's foundational for everything. Okay, Casey, a 27-year-old pregnant woman is going to Colorado, much higher altitude than she's used to. She's concerned about what she might experience with headaches, pressure in her lungs, difficulty breathing, lightheartedness. What patches should she take to be prepared, and would they be safe to use during her pregnancy? 2 questions. Thank you.
First, great question. And so first, let's address the pregnancy conversation. All of the photobiomodulation therapy is okay during pregnancy. So there's no chemicals, there's nothing harmful. It's just stimulating normal molecules that happen to be endogenous to the body. So increasing those molecules should not cause any challenges for the baby or the mom, okay? Energy enhancer, X49, carnosine, those are going to be our sort of physical fitness support patches. So all of those would be good. And you can wear them, on the lung points. Those are really great. As we know, many of our athletes that support LifeWave wear energy enhancers on the lung 1 points. And so carnosine is also great to recover. So if you do get fatigue, that's a great way to make sure that you don't have any long-standing fatigue stuff. And then X49 is the studies are just starting to come out, but wow, I know personally, I just feel like I can accomplish anything physical fitness wise when I have on the X49. So
Superman.
Exactly. So that would be a great combo for anything, in the altitude.
Great. Thank you so much. And lots of water, especially because people get dehydrated in the altitude and it's usually really dry too. Okay, Glenn, Dr. Jeff, I have a lady that has is immune compromised and can't get more than 3 hours of sleep a night. She falls asleep during the day. What patches would you recommend and where would you place them?
Okay, so this is the secret to Dr. Jeff's sleep. I stack or pancake Eon and Alavita, and I put it right here on my third eye, and I sleep like a baby.
It's amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
And if you want to take it to the next level, you can consistently wear Silent Night and raise those melatonin levels, and that really helps as well. But Alavita and Eon, that's a powerful combo. I mean, I really sleep well.
I do the same thing. And I sleep really well. Okay, Anne is asking, Tammy wants to know if she has a severe allergy to shrimp. Is there any patch that might help her immune challenge? She keeps an EpiPen on hand.
Oh, wow. Well, stay away from the shrimp, first of all. But, you know, so glutathione is just like our immune modulating patch. So glutathione is just an amazing molecule, guys. If you haven't read about it, it's the master antioxidant. It's like the garbage man on the inside of the cell, cleaning out all of the metabolic and cellular debris and eliminates heavy metals, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be a great way to go about it, is to just consistently wear the glutathione. And, you know, once you have kind of raised its therapeutic levels, you know, the clinical trials show that it went up 300% in 24 hours in all of the study participants. So technically, you don't have to wear it every day. You can wear it every other day or 3 times a week, and it'll still be very effective. But if you're concerned about an allergy or, you know, something going on, then you can wear it more consistently once your body has gotten adjusted to the patch itself.
Beautiful. It's so fun to do Q&A with you. He's got the answers here. And I think we answered the next question from Lumeria, but I'll say it again. What about people who are on anti-rejection drugs and who have an organ transplant?
That's a no-no. So, yeah, I mean, there's just so much that goes into getting an organ transplanted, and you want to make sure that your body fully receives the organ before you do anything. So I would be careful with almost all of the patches. I mean, you could probably do energy enhancer, ice wave, or something like that, but the copper peptides, the X39, 49, glutathione, Eon,
yeah,
I would be very careful.
Very careful. Great. Thank you so much for that. So Heidi wants to share a story, and she says, I have a recent story of a 79-year-old woman who hasn't felt her foot muscles in years, actually since 2013, yet has pain surrounding the arch area and started wearing Eon at night on her big toe on each foot, and awoke last night without pain when walking to the bathroom, and having wore during the day an X39 on her neck for 12 hours before, and drinking half her body weight in ounces of water. Well, isn't that wonderful? We love hearing stories like that. Thank you, Heidi Noel Miller. Yes, this is, and when you hear these stories, and we love you to share your stories because they inspire other people to think of people they know that they want to share with and help them. And that's what we're here for. We're sharing with people we care about. Thank you, Heidi. Okay, Ravel. Dear Robin and Dr. Jeff, aside from the obvious X39 and perhaps Eon and glutathione, please comment on patching symptoms associated with damaged nerves of the ANS, automatic nervous system.
You said so outside of Eon, because Eon addresses the parasympathetic nervous system and neurotransmitters and things like that. That is how it does its function and how it kind of calms you down, right? So it's the opposite of fight or flight. Typically in America, we're go, 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 pedal to the metal, you know, really anxious about everything and stressed. And so to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the opposite of that, is rest or digest. It is a calming and relaxing element. And so that is your acute approach to the conditions that you described. And then the long-term solution would be X39. Aloe Vera is really good too. It's kind of marketed as a skin program, but the clinical trials show that there's 7 different organ systems that are engaged, or 7 different organs that are engaged, and the function is improved with aloe vera. So
beautiful, beautiful. I actually like to wear Ian at night because that's when we're regenerating, and it's like giving our body a big exhale and like, So when things are relaxed, everything works better. So Ian was the star of the show before X39, and it does many wonderful things. And aloe vera has many treasures in there and many, many benefits. So, okay, we have time for a few more. Rose, good morning, Jeff. Maybe Rose is in the Philippines or somewhere on the other side of the world. Good morning. I'd like to ask questions for my client. Her knees are in pain for 13 years. She can barely walk. She's using injectable stem cells, but due to its cost, hasn't felt an effect, so she stopped. I've given her 10 patches of X39 after our roadshow here in the Philippines last Sunday. What other patches would you suggest? Thank you.
So what I have found to be most effective with knee issues is that you patch just below the kneecap. So on either side of the knee, there's these soft areas, okay? And we call them the eyes of the knee, okay? So you take Ice Wave and you put the tan patch on the left side of the knee and the white patch on the right side of the knee. And then just below the knee, like below the patella tendon, I know maybe for some people anatomically that doesn't make sense, but just below the knee, you can put Eon or glutathione or X39. You create this triangle look on the knee, and it does wonders.
I'm living proof of that. Actually, I just used X39 and amazing things happened. And that's why we're all here, is my left knee. Okay. Kame says, Dr. Jeff, did you say you cannot use X39 if someone's had a tumor growth? I have a client who has 2 small active tumors in her pituitary gland. Are you saying that she should not use X39 or 49?
That's correct.
That's if they're using an immune suppressing med, correct?
Correct. Well, it depends upon how you're going to treat it. So if you're going the traditional route, then no. If you're wanting to stay away from some of the traditional pharmaceutical approaches, then it could very well be very helpful in helping to bring the body back into balance.
Beautiful, beautiful. So it's okay if you're not using those traditional approaches with chemicals. Okay, Heidi wanted to add to the story about the woman. She said she also slept soundly for 10 hours the night she'd worn Eon in each toe. Isn't that wonderful? And Heidi says, David also mentioned at the Sarasota event that lowering inflammation with Eon before starting X39 to build and repair. Would you like to comment on that?
Repeat that for me, I'm sorry.
That David suggests for some people to start, with Eon to lower the inflammation before starting X39 to rebuild and repair.
Maybe do it in combination. I wouldn't start that beforehand. I just think X39 is the gateway.
Okay. Great. All
So,
right. So we have an anonymous attendee. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No, I was just saying add in combination to X39, but don't start something before X39.
Okay. So an anonymous attendee, one of our friends bone broke when he was arm wrestling. And now he'd like to know which patches and where to use them for his bones, muscles, connective tissue, and soft tissue.
Wow. That's it's like a movie or something. So yeah, I would do heavy X39. And if there's pain, you can use Ice Wave, but the X39 is what's going to mend that bone, and X49 is going to be powerful for your bone density. So the combo of those two would be really valuable.
Great. And just to clarify, Shirley wanted to make sure if you have a tumor growth, stay away from X39. Only if you're using You want to say that? Stay away from X39.
So if you're going down the traditional route in allopathy to use a chemical drug to address your tumor, then no, you do not want to use X39. If you are not intending to go that route, then you can use the patches to do whatever you like to bring your body back into balance.
Great. It's fine as long as you're not using, immune suppressing meds. Okay, and Heidi's back again. She said this woman was a ballerina dancer in her youth and she was dancing around her walker. How fun is that? Love it.
That's cool.
Yes, that's great. Lemuria again, what happens if someone has an active growth and they do use X39 and 49 and they're not using those conventional medications? What happens?
That's a great question. That's going to be in a case-by-case basis. The idea would be that the body would improve.
Great. Everybody's different. And the Eon patch is a good one to add. Yeah. So, Arlene, hello. Does the mechanism of the glutathione patch increase glutathione by bypassing the G6PD enzyme for a family member that has a G6PD deficiency?
That's a really great question. I would have to refresh my memory on G6DP deficiency. I remember that, but not perfectly to speak to it intelligently. Here's what I know. The glutathione is elevated in the average person that participated in the study. So let me just put my email in the chat. Let me review that, and I will get back to you with some specifics about that particular deficiency.
Great. Thank you so much. And Judy Joy is asking a patching protocol for someone that's heart fibrillation. Brillation. I don't know that term. Heart brillation, is it? I'm not sure. Judy, would you write that one? Huh? Yeah.
Maybe she's talking about fibrillation.
Maybe that's what I was guessing. Yeah.
Arterial fibrillation.
So this is Heart Month, and tomorrow David is doing a program for healthy hearts, and carnosine right here. It's always a good one. I have a friend that had amazing results. Okay. Any patch thoughts for people who've had reactions to vaccinations?
Again, the glutathione is going to be our powerful cleanser, so you want to raise your glutathione levels. Hopefully there was no, abnormal response to the vaccination, and you're able to cleanse out anything that's going on. But I would just patch diligently to kind of help get back to square one.
Great. Okay. So the next person is anonymous again. My question is, what's your best advice for us who are not doctors on recommending patches to people?
So I just think you need to be very confident. So, there's a lot of literature, a lot of things to read. You don't need to get into the science and into the minutia. Just have a very high level understanding of what happens with the patches, and then lean on your upline, lean on people who have a better appreciation for how the patch works, and, three-way call or Zoom, or invite them here, or someplace to where they can ask more questions, get more information. For practitioners, I find that it's really helpful when you put something in their hand for them to read. Okay, so there's 80 plus articles on the LifeWave website. If you go to pubmed.gov, which is the National Institutes of Health's biomedical research database. You can type in GHK copper peptide, you can type in carnosine, glutathione, et cetera, and there's just more articles than you could ever read about these different things. And you print them out and you say, hey, doc, you know, in your free time, could you read over this? I really like your opinion about this or that or the third. And, you know, just continue to follow up with them, nudge them every time you get the opportunity and say, did you read that? What did you think? What is so and so forth? That's the way I was approached. My direct sponsor said, doc, you need to read this. I'm really excited about it. And she put the 15th anniversary booklet in my hand, and it had an extensive sort of breakdown about X39 and what, you know, the expectations were, et cetera, both from a market perspective and a business perspective. And I was really impressed. And I was like, wow, if this does what it says it can do, I'm game. So I'm a little bit of a bit more business person than I am doctor person sometimes. So you kind of have to be cognizant of who you're speaking to. That's another big piece.
So thank you for that. And it is a challenging situation because many of us lay people that are not healthcare practitioners thinks we need to learn all these different protocols. We don't. X39 is so comprehensive. X39, just X39, give them videos on X39. You can give them research, you can give them all kinds of things, but X39 does so many things. And then if they need professional help, Dr. Jeff does consults and some of our other practitioners do too, but X39 is nothing short of miraculous. Okay, Linda, we got two more. Linda, which patches would you use for sleep, snoring, breathing issues?
That's tough. So you just want to be able to get a good night's rest. That's what we're going to focus on. So again, the Eon, the Alavita, the Silent Night, those are going to be great. You know, you can tape your mouth shut. There's some really good research on that. When you close your mouth and you force yourself to breathe through your nose, that's a way to cut down on your snoring and challenges breathing, et cetera. So those are the couple of things that I think would be valuable. Also, your sleep position.
That's a good recommendation. Thank you. Okay, arterial fibrillation.
So I don't know. I'm not picking up what we're talking about there.
We shifted from, it was Judy Joy that asked, and we didn't know what she was asking before.
Okay, it's atrial fibrillation.
Yeah.
Okay, no. So you know we got to be careful with that because that's a medical condition. We can just call it abnormal heart rhythm, right? So
that makes us very compliant. Thank you for that.
So what we want to talk about there is carnosine. Carnosine is going to be very helpful. X39 is going to be helpful. And, you know, you kind of want to address if there's any underlying causes that are creating the abnormal rhythm.
Beautiful. I've heard amazing results with those symptoms with X39 and carnosine, like handled. Yeah, many times I've heard that. So I would try that. Okay, and we're going to finish up with Dr. Tom. Dr. J, you're rocking it. Thank you mucho. How would you talk to a gentleman handling new stiff heart, weakness, and imbalance?
Yeah, I just you don't need to recreate the wheel. I mean, the X39 and carnosine, it focuses on cardiovascular support and it helps circulation. You know, also glutathione is really great for peripheral circulation. So I think the combination of those three would be really valuable. You know, also you can consider the Eon's impact on blood pressure and heart rate and all of those sorts of things, just calming the system. So I really believe that's why Mr. Schmidt created the Y age group, was for all of the cardiovascular health problems that happen here in America, because glutathione, carnosine, and eon. That trifecta is amazing from so many different aspects on overall cardiovascular health.
Yeah.
So that in conjunction with X39 would be dynamic.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I have to finish up with Kay because she said the dream spray is wonderful to help with sleep. I love it. And we love our dream spray too. And I couldn't find mine the other night before I was going to bed, and Gregory was already sleeping, and I really missed it. There's something wonderful about, I love the smell, and you just spray on your wrist and you rub it and you go, 8 deep breaths. What a wonderful way to end the day and calm the body and get a restful sleep. So, Dr. Jeff, thank you, thank you, thank you. A treat to be with you always. Yes, yes, yes. And thank you everyone for joining us this evening. We're so grateful to have you with us. We get together here every Tuesday night, and this is a wonderful place to bring your guests. And if you are a guest, my invitation is, try it. There's no risk. All the patches come with a 30-day risk-free guarantee. And so get back to the person that invited you. And we have, if it's just for yourself, we have a wonderful customer program. If you're the kind of person that likes to share, I can't help myself. And because of that, lots of people's lives have changed. And so we have a wonderful brand partner program for you too that has a generous compensation. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be with us this evening. Thank you, Gregory, for always doing that great presentation. And we will call this call complete. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Way for helping me